Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Brent Hazzard Show. I'm Brent Hazzard, back with the observations of a madman. Joined as usual, Alan Cole. Mr. Cole, how are you doing?
Doing well, sir, and yourself?
In this three-man rotation, before we get to that question, and then Robin to my Batman, Mike Gatling.
The wet blanket. I'm back.
Hey.
Yeah, right.
Well, I mean, we did have to kick you out for a woman last time because we couldn't have three men talking about Roe versus Wade.
Well, that's okay. If you want to be sexist, that's all right.
And then you volunteered. You were scared of Alan, and you ran. But if he's Robin and I'm Batman, who are you? You really just went that on me.
I am the guy who sets up Batman. Who's the guy that owns the
Alfred?
mansion? Alfred.
You literally, in Mississippi, you went Butler.
Well, he's not
Not
just
Joker. Not Joker.
I wouldn't want to be the Joker. I'm not a villain.
I'm always the villain. Well, maybe
then
you need to be Batman.
Maybe I need to be
Robin,
Batman.
And then I'm the Joker.
What's Morgan Freeman's character? Kind of directs the company.
Why, the black
the
man's
black
gotta be
dude.
the black man?
Well, I'm just saying he was
black man's
he was
gotta
the
be the black
CEO,
man.
wasn't he?
He ran the company.
Fox.
Lucius
Fox.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See?
It's about time you've given me a name that's worthy of a brother. Lucius Fox.
The CEO.
CEO.
He
Wayne-
couldn't be
of
anybody
Wayne
else.
Enterprises.
He couldn't be anything. I mean, that's like saying the white guy on the football team is the hard-working guy.
Well, he's usually,
High energy, high motor.
He was the ethical one.
Lucius Fox?
Yeah. He was against all the phone technology where you could see everybody.
He created all the weapons.
So he didn't want to use them all.
it's
For,
all about the heart, though,
yeah.
Brent.
Okay, Marvel, DC, go.
I'm really not a Marvel guy. But if I was going to be a
You're
Marvel
gone,
guy,
you're gone.
if I'm a Marvel guy,
Turn
I'm
his
the Hulk.
mic off.
I'm the Hulk.
No, I'm just asking, Marvel, DC, which one?
Oh,
You said DC. Your mic's cut. Marvel,
Wow.
DC.
Movie.
Either one.
If
just
for the
Marvel,
movies,
DC.
it's Marvel. For the comics, it was DC. I like the
Your
I like
mic's
the
cut.
okay.
So it's
Well, what about
basically-
you?
It's
Yeah.
Marvel. The correct answer is
All the
Marvel.
way?
All the way.
What? Superman, Batman. Those
That's
are
what I'm saying.
Exactly.
If we're stuck in 1930s.
You just said I'm Batman. That's DC all day long.
Thank you, dumbass. I didn't know another sidekick when I picked him up. Name a sidekick in Marvel. I broke my rule about calling names.
Well, because they're more team oriented, right?
Exactly.
They just have
So,
teams.
I mean, that's why I had to go DC.
Okay.
He could be Bucky, I guess, to Captain America.
Ooh,
Winter Soldier.
yeah.
It's like having a conversation. Anyway, Mike, moving on back to something. What? We'll get 10 boring minutes of legal analysis. Did you see?
God.
For those who do not know, the abortion clinic in Mississippi, they filed suit under state law and asked for a restraining order because in 1998, the Mississippi Supreme Court said that the state constitution gave you a right to abortion. And they decided that they were going to file, the abortion clinic decided today they were going to have a restraining order.
Correct.
All four chancellors in Hinds County recused themselves. There was, I can't say that. I might eat with one chancellor on a regular basis. But Judge Halford
Correct.
She's a retired judge, or is she current?
I don't know. Weird. I'd never heard of her before.
I've gone in front of her. She's a very nice judge. She ruled today. You saw the oral argument?
Most of it.
Now, who was representing the abortion clinic?
Rob McDuff, and then somebody.
No, give us a little background. Who's Rob McDuff?
He's very talented appellate lawyer. Has done a lot of work for, I believe, the Innocence Project, and
does a lot of civil rights.
Yeah, and has done, I think, a healthy amount of criminal defense work. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was working on that case with the guy in. Remember the guy they did the podcast about that had been tried like 7 times or something for murder?
You're talking about the gentleman up in is Aquina, or the one that went up to the Supreme Court?
Yeah.
And was reversed.
That's right.
Because they kept on kicking out all the black jurors.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Rob McDuff is a lawyer's lawyer when it comes to some civil rights.
Yeah. Very talented guy. Good
for
lawyer.
The state.
I didn't recognize he was a younger guy. Justin Matheny was at the bench at the table along with Lynn Fitch, but he didn't argue. Justin is a talented lawyer. He's argued a bunch of stuff for the AG's office, but he did not argue today. It was another guy.
Did Fitch say anything?
She did not.
Okay, and then the judge ruled today, and how did the judge rule?
The judge ruled that she denied the restraining order. Said that the 98 case was not compelling, that there was enough reference to Roe and Casey as the basis for that holding, and with those now not being good law.
Basically, they said the basis of the law was based on the federal law.
Correct.
The federal law has changed. The state law
Right.
has changed. Now, it's not the case, but it's the basis for the preliminary injunction.
That's right.
So it will not be able to remain open. Is that shocking for you, layman? Well, excuse me, I'm shorting him. What was your opinion, number one, of Roe versus Wade?
I mean, it is what it is. There's no explicit reference to, a right to abortion in the Constitution.
Okay.
So there's a line of lawyers that say, well, then it's not a right that you get under the Constitution.
Some to call those constitutional rights.
Correct. And then there's another line of lawyers that say that the court can create a right if need be, and I think that was kind of what was done.
As an officer of the court, does it bother you that they overlooked 50 years of precedent?
A little bit.
Overturned?
A little bit.
How so?
Well, because they're kind of thumbing their nose at what had been decided by some very talented jurists, very smart lawyers, very smart judges. I think a lot of the judges that came before, at least the current court, probably a little bit better. They're more eloquent as far as writers. Those were very.
They were nominated. Would it be fair to say that the previous judges have been nominated for their overall body of work? And now recently we've gotten to
it's got more political.
It's very more. Well, it's not political, so to speak. Political about one issue.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you see coming from the future?
I see I don't know. I think it's going to be. I think they'll probably overturn based on the dissent from Thomas. I think they might be looking at some other at interracial marriage, some other cases that were out there that established some of what the country's been, I guess, living under for several years, and that would be some gay rights, some again interracial marriage, some of those other cases that came down. If they go up and it's the same analysis, you may end up with a certain a change there. Now it's an easy fix if Congress will pass a law.
What do you mean it's an easy fix? We don't have 2/3 majority.
Well, I'm saying
for your constitutional amendment.
Yeah. What I'm saying if you create a law that a common sense abortion law.
What would be a common sense abortion law, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I'm not pro-abortion, but I am pro-choice. I've got kids. But I do believe that if it's a woman's body, that she should be able to do what she wants with it. I don't agree with those crazy arguments like we should be able to abort a kid up until the day before I give birth. Yeah, but that the first trimester. I mean it seems like that would be for whatever reason. You're up, go for it, and then after that, I think rape, incest, domestic. I mean, or any kind of situation where the fetus ended up in a woman and they didn't intend for that to happen, as far as by force. I think that they should 100% be able to go to a clinic and get that taken care of and terminate the pregnancy if that's what they want.
Alan, what social issues would you like our state to revisit?
Social issues?
Well, I mean, what he's talking about, what Mike is referencing, what we talked about last week, was if it's not in the Constitution, under the current, now, they seem to pick and choose when they're going to use what's called a strict interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
One, I know for a fact, William Bell of Ridgeland challenged what's called qualified immunity. Qualified immunity is not found anywhere in the civil rights statutes.
Okay.
It is an immunity given to public officials. Now, under a strict interpretation, that should not exist anymore because it's something the courts have created for police officers, and it gives them a higher standard, or you have to show where they were more than they simply made a mistake. And I'm dumbing that down. I'll get a comment saying that's not qualified immunity. But you have to show that with reckless disregard or something, you got to show that they really intended to hurt you or something like that, that it just was an honest mistake.
That's kind of difficult to prove, but okay.
No, I mean, I accidentally, I thought I smelled marijuana. I thought I had probable cause. It's different than me taking a billy club and beating the hell out of you. Okay?
It's the cases at the ends that clearly applies to. It's all that stuff in the middle where it's like, eh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I had a good faith basis, like you were slurring your words. Okay, and you were just having a bad medical reaction to a drug you never had or something, and I thought you were driving drunk, then I would have immunity from any suit because I had a good faith basis. Okay? Me taking a billy club and beating the hell out of you, there's not really any, I'm not sure, or one of the basic examples, people who are having some sort of insulin issue.
Gotcha.
People think they're having some sort of medical, they're drunk.
Right.
And sometimes they don't order medical attention immediately.
Right.
There's a gray area there. You telling me, Brent, I'm having a diabetic shot or issue or whatever, or insulin shot, I need my shot, it's in my trunk, and I'm just saying I don't give a damn, and you dying, now that immunity's gone. Now I've gone to disregarding of your rights.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay. Going forward, though, back to my question for you. Social issue. Basically, right now, in the current last ruling, they're saying any social issue has to be decided by the state. Should the state of Mississippi revisit what drugs are legal or not? Because right now, and Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, they're basically saying the federal government is not going to decide. I guess interstate commerce, but see, that'll be interesting.
That'll be a whole other
issue.
Set of cases.
The federal government has a right to dictate what's traded between the states.
States, right.
But the way I read this current Roe versus Wade or Dobbs opinion is like whether marijuana is legal, heroin's legal, cocaine's legal, that's a states' rights issue. So should Mississippi vote on that? And if they did, would you change anything socially?
I definitely think that the social aspect of things needs to be looked at, but I don't know that I would change it or become more liberal simply because...
we're not going to become more liberal.
Absolutely not. If anything, if there will be changes, it will become more restrictive.
Okay, let's ask this way, since you're sidestepping. Well, here, I'll go back to maybe Michael bow up. What social issues would you change?
Well, I think if you're
that we need to revisit.
Well, I mean, abortion.
Abortion's on the table.
Yeah.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. Drugs. Should we revisit drugs as a state?
I don't know that opinion applies to criminalization of. I mean, there are federal criminal statutes that apply. So I don't know that would affect whether or not we're going to decriminalize cocaine in Mississippi.
But the question would be the source of those federal statutes. Were they valid?
Well, the source for the criminal statutes, those are clearly enumerated in the legislature. They have that's
But is that an overreach? Because Roe versus Wade was a law till
Well,
3 weeks
I think
ago,
what
2
you're.
weeks
I think if
ago.
you're going, I think you need to find something along the same lines as abortion, and not
Okay,
like
let's take the easy one since you were gone. Gay marriage, should we revisit it? Yes or no?
yes, not in a bad way. I think we should make sure that it's that they have the right to marry and to
Do you think Mississippi would vote as a state for gay marriage? You know the answer.
yeah.
Alan, would we as a state, would you vote for gay marriage?
Hell no. I mean, no, I would not.
Okay, and
But that's based on my religious and no,
very
my
religious,
spiritual
as she say,
belief.
hell no. Very religious.
Well, hell is a real place, brother, just like heaven. Okay,
I believe it. I understand that.
That's so for me to state that is nothing more than
Okay.
to state the obvious. But I do believe the reason why is because my belief is that marriage is between a man and a woman. That's my belief. That's what I understand the Bible to read and to dictate. So that's just my position.
Would
on
you
it.
incorporate-
But I also now, but I'm the same guy that I'm not going to judge you because you sin differently than me either.
You're
Because
just not gonna let them-
fornication.
You're not going to let them marry.
Well, fornication is something that the Bible speaks against, but there are no specific laws against it that they hold you criminally liable for. So
Well, there's sodomy laws. That's one.
Well, sodomy has been ruled unconstitutional for those who do not know.
Well, but they used to criminalize certain sexual
Yes.
conduct.
they did. In fact, they did. So that's for me. That's my position. You ask me. That's my
Okay.
But I don't hate gay people.
What would you do? You believe the state should be in the marriage business?
Yes.
Feel free. We
Yes.
have an hour to kill. So you're okay with the state being? You understand, because you're not an ignorant man, sir. You understand once the government gets into something, certain rights and rules have to apply.
Correct.
So
The government's already in it.
I understand that, but this might be a way to get them out.
But how do you get them out when you start talking about unions? Whether it's a marriage between a man or a woman, or marriage between two same-sex individuals, you're still talking about a domestic union, a legal contract.
But that's a contract. A
that's
church is not needed for a contract. A church
is needed
for a
a
religious ceremony.
A covenant, correct.
Okay, so, and what I'm saying is, why not we just give it two? Just separate it now and say, look, whatever you do in your church is your business, and I don't care what y'all call it, but you don't get to stop whoever getting in. Because my issue is, it's not like Mike. Mike has 3 children and public school.
One, but the mix.
Okay. He gets a tax deduction for his kids.
Okay.
I have a problem with that because I don't have kids. So in my opinion, I need to have either 3 slots of tax deductions because his kids are costing society more than I am by myself. So I need to either have those slots available, kind of like your Netflix subscription. I need to have 5 slots to give to somebody or to use those.
You sound absurd.
No, okay, tell me.
Here's why.
Whoa.
Because here's why I say you sound absurd. Because at a minimum, Mike is not only contributing to society and to the tech. Let me finish.
Technically,
Let me finish. I knew you were going to cut me off.
No, it's not contributing.
You are. Yes, maybe you are contributing, but he's also producing people that can continue to society.
Great people.
Great people. Whereas you're
I'm not gonna
producing
criticize
nothing.
You got no output.
Okay, first of all,
Your
the
GDP is
the
zero.
school costs money, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so that's tax dollars, right?
With an opportunity for a return.
Okay,
What we're doing is investing in a.
Whoa. It's not our job as a government to recommend people reproduce. That is not anywhere in the Constitution.
Brent would have kids if his girls could stay out of prison, but they can't, and that's the problem.
Wow. Well, I'll say this.
He's got one joke. He uses it every time.
There's a factual
And
basis.
I like his wife, so I do not go anywhere
There's a
near
factual
that.
basis for that statement.
Once again, all I'm saying is, why should I subsidize someone's marriage or someone's reproducing when there's 7 billion of us on the planet. We got the reproducing down.
Well, you're talking about a theory that why should we pay for anybody's stuff if it's not art? I mean, that's...
No, I'm going by the Constitution that doesn't give the... You have the ability to tax, but you don't have the ability to dictate behavior. Either tax all of us the same, or don't. Like, it's the same thing with farmer subsidies. I don't care what makes it or not. I don't care, and the government should not have the right to say, we want you to buy a house and not rent. That's not in the Constitution. And every theory that you have, and just on...
But the government does say, we won't let you buy a house, you can only rent. They do drive that narrative.
No, I'm talking about, one, you're changing the argument. Two, I'm saying if you buy a house, your house payments are tax deductible. If you rent, they're not. And what I'm saying is whatever you do, that's not the government's business. Whether it's good for you, and there's studies that say both times when you look at the equity payments and you look at the deductions and the fact that no one actually, to really make real estate profitable, you buy one house when you're like 20, you pay the house off and you live there for 20 years. What happens is people stay in debt and they never downsize, and they treat property with emotional connections, and when you do that, you lose money. And I mean, specifically, like, one of the reasons I don't tie into property is because my family lost a fortune in property because we put a lot of money into property in the Delta. It's almost worthless now. So with that said, but that's none of the government's business, state or local or federal, in my opinion. Whether a farmer makes it in Greenville, that's not the government's business. Mike, do you disagree?
Yeah, I do. I mean,
Okay.
I think you're talking about, I mean, the case is what you're talking about is like if the government has a rational, I believe that's rational basis scrutiny, correct?
Well, no, what you're talking about is when we get into discrimination. I'm talking about...
Well, it's a form of, but it's an arbitrary and capricious standard, and you're talking about the difference between a renter and a homeowner.
They're lacking... I actually filed a suit on this, and a little background. Mike's mother, who I did not know this, was the Greenville Delta federal judge Mike's mother worked for. I actually filed a suit on this saying the federal government has a right to tax me. 20%, 30%, whatever percentage. I'm cool with that. They do not have a right to dictate social behavior. And what I'm saying is, whether you drink, he smokes dope, I do heroin, that should not be dictated by the federal government. What we make or what our percentage is, that's fine. You know, we all owe $1,000 or you owe 10%. I'm good with all that. But the fact that you get in and you bought a green car, let's give you a little money off here. You bought a house, let's take a little money off here. To me, that's high. It's not, what you're talking about is discriminatory practices, and I disagree with that. What I'm talking about is lack of the authority of the federal government to tax.
To be subjective in what they're going to tax.
Yeah, it's a huge overreach.
Well, okay.
I'm good with them saying everybody owes 20%. I'm good at that.
You know what I'd like the government to do? I'd like the government to address all these hedge fund companies that are purchasing homes that are $300,000 and less, and why they're turning every major marketplace into a renter's market versus a homeowner's market.
Because it's profitable.
I understand that, but that's not fair for Americans who want a piece of the American dream.
First of all, why is it not fair, the capitalist system working?
Because it's a capitalistic system that limits the capacity for others to have access to capital.
That's literally how capitalism works. No,
I agree. I'm not disputing it.
We've got to take a break.
Okay.
I don't know where we're going. We'll be right back. I'll try to stop spitting on the mic.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrett StarkitiesGarrettENT.com.
Hi, I'm Q Talicia Garrett. I am here to introduce our New South Development and Training Outreach Hour every Tuesday at 2 p.m., giving you information on how to become a part of the programs through USDA and Farm Service Agency. We can be reached at 678-779-9468. We can also be found online at newsouthoutreach.com.
We're back. Brent Hazzard. We had one comment in the break that says, my critical thinking scary. But let me go ahead and say this. You follow the Dobbs case and then go look at your tax provision in the Constitution, the power to tax. And it does not say the federal government or state government has the power to tax activities. Am I wrong about that, Mr. Gatling?
I'm not sure, because right now there are people coming and said you're not an attorney, or they can't believe that you're an attorney.
Well, there's a lot of idiots out there.
I don't know.
I'm
They're making
saying,
some very valid points in the comment section.
You've gone against me. I can quote some motions to prove that I was an attorney.
All you can prove is you have a license.
Mr. Cole.
Yes.
Brittany Griner.
Brittany Griner.
Female basketball player.
Yes.
Has been arrested, detained by Russia. Your thoughts?
Well, one, as a Chicago police officer once said to me, this was years ago.
Why he was frisking you?
Well, as he was frisking me, before TSA frisked me, he said, "Sir, what is this in your?" I said, "Sir, don't take that out of my pants leg." And he insisted on removing the matter from my leg and called Chicago police officer over. And you know what the Chicago police officer said to me when he took the bag and looked at it and saw that it was maybe 2 blunts? He said, "Where are you going?" I said, "Kansas City." He said, "Don't they sell this in Kansas City?" And he threw it in the garbage. My point to Brittany Griner is, you can't do that in Russia. Whatever she
You went all that way
to say she shouldn't have been doing it, and whatever she was doing, she should have left it. She should have left it there and not tried to transport it. You're in Russia, for Christ's sake, which then speaks to her not being aware of the political climate.
But no, well, first of all, let's break it. When they started putting troops around Ukraine,
correct.
Americans started just to leave.
Should leave. Just like the ones that got caught over there now. You over there glory hunting. If you're an American fighter and you're caught by a Russian soldier, you're over there glory hunting. I want Brittany Griner to come home. Yes. I do, but I do believe she's being utilized as a political pawn by the Russian government, being detained over there because she is a popular basketball player. And so they're treating her as a political pawn for some prisoners. And, you know, when you think about how it works.
But is it her fault?
Yes. Okay. Possession is 9/10 of the law.
But what I'm saying, in America. But what I'm saying is, once you saw the the Russians surrounding the Ukrainian countries, there was a couple of black American male basketball players. And they were mid-season. They're like, deuces. I'm gone. And I'm going to leave my weed pipe over here. Yes. And bruh, you my man, Brent. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to bless you. I'm gone. That's the dope game. She went to Baylor. Maybe she should have gone to another school. I ain't going to call no schools. To learn how to say certain things. You don't try to, when you're in Jamaica, and the dude hooks you up at the airport before you can make it to your vehicle. You've done a lot of dope in this world, it sounds like. No, I haven't. I've been around a few of them. Okay. I've been around a few of them. You were just trafficking for your friends. You don't traffic. You don't. My point is, you leave it.
2 blunts.
That's literally trafficking under the federal law. Brett, I'm sorry. My
point is, you leave it. You leave it. You are coming to America. You leave whatever it is.
Do you ever go to Russia? Do you? Ukraine's over tomorrow. Do you go to Russia?
Absolutely not. Okay. I don't like to go nowhere really where it's cold all the time.
Okay,
I don't like landlocked places.
Do you go to Egypt right
Absolutely.
now? Oh, hell no. Do you go to Egypt? No. Do you go to Saudi Arabia?
No, now I'm thinking about political climates. No, certain places you do not go.
Do you
as
go
an
to
American.
Saudi Arabia? Please speak. For
No, I don't want to go to Saudi Arabia.
In front of you.
Jesus.
Man,
I can't believe I left my
literally
crypt for this.
This is what happened, okay? Let's just get this out there. In a previous life, I was one of the greatest people on the planet, and God said, I'm really going to challenge you. I'm going to send you to Mississippi and try to get you to start a podcast. And I got someone on, but it's okay.
There's a visual component.
There's also an audio component. Please speak.
Man, I'm really dark.
I could yell like you do.
Maybe you shouldn't.
How about that?
Maybe you shouldn't wear all black against a
Take my
black.
hat off.
You act like he's like hidden. It's
Look at the screen.
You
I
act
see
like
him
I'm
just
Wesley
fine.
Snipes black. I'm not black ass
I
black.
didn't
I'm
say
just
I'm
black.
talking about your black shirt.
I'm not black ass
The
black,
reason-
bro. I'm just black. Okay.
I'm not making it a skin issue. I'm making a clothing issue.
I just said I was very.
This is the second time here. You're the one who made the observation. What were you talking about when you
I
said it
was
so
talking
dark?
about the shadow upon my face being projected by the cap, sir. But we've rectified
I was talking
that.
about your shirt.
Sure, I know. I won't wear black again.
No, you've done it camo the first time, black. You're obviously a little intimidated. It's fine.
Just a little.
I intimidate him.
wrong. I'll just say it.
China. Would you go to China?
No.
Would you go to China?
China or Chinese territories?
I don't even know if I can name Chinese territory.
Taiwan?
That's not a Chinese
Not
territory.
yet.
Taiwan would strongly disagree with
Yeah,
that.
not yet.
okay.
That could be.
Yeah. China,
They would like it to be. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. No, probably not. I would not go to China.
You can't recognize Nepal, can you? China doesn't recognize Nepal. Is that correct?
I think
because
it-
Nepal, there was a. I hate to say I know this. There was a figure in Doctor Strange from Nepal, and they couldn't put him in there. They had to make him from England because they didn't want to alienate the
Oh,
Chinese government. Yes. Where else? Okay, Colombia.
No.
Colombia?
No.
No.
I wouldn't go to Mexico, to be honest.
Cancun?
Even then, it's a little.
Mexico City's shady.
I mean, it's still. I think they're.
They'll kidnap an American.
When I was
quick
in
in
when I was in
Mexico
college, we had a guy like the group we went with. We went to Cancun over spring break, and a couple of guys were like, "Hey, we're gonna go rent a Jeep and go to the Mayan ruins," and they got jacked by the.
Oh yeah, no, they're
Oh,
sitting
really?
there. Kidnapping Americans in Mexico is a business, and business is.
They didn't get kidnapped. They got robbed at
Okay.
gunpoint. And they had to give up all
Yeah.
the shit or all their stuff, and then they were put back in.
I mean, just no one's listening. But anyway,
We need a dump
Brittany
button. We don't have a dump
Griner.
button. What about just?
is it racist or is it stupid?
Okay, so Russia's got like what? 100, they don't have a census, so it's hard to get like current demographic numbers on them. But they have around 144 million people that live there, and they have around 50,000 black citizens.
Well, let me say
Not
this.
your
Period.
Women's
And that's
basketball.
that is like it's point. I think that's 0.03%.
But did you know women's
It's
basketball is
tiny.
huge there?
Yes.
It's huge. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Pro
American women have been going to Russia to make their money. For
Okay.
years. They lose money playing in
The
WNBA.
NBA,
Yeah.
right?
And they do that to try to get some marketing
Her
and come back here.
her
They
first
make their
season,
money
yeah, her
in
first
Russia.
season in Russia, she made like 800 grand, which was like 8 times her rookie
Yes.
contract.
Oh, wow.
It's
See,
a
they-
longer season, but they really get into women's basketball.
She was on the same team as Diana Taurasi,
Taurasi,
and they
yeah.
they won their championship like 1 or 2 years in a row. They make some money. but
All
that's-
the WNBA players go to
Go to
Russia.
Russia and
Yeah,
play.
so
Yeah.
her being over there, just her staying over there, and like you said, do you see any rate? If she was a white woman, who's the most famous white woman athlete, female athlete we have right now? Most famous white athlete, female.
I can't.
I don't know. Is it tennis player maybe?
I know. I don't know. It's not. Why does it got to be tennis? If I say white,
I'm just saying.
It's got to be a swimmer. Ledecky, right? She's the one who
Yeah,
blows
but-
everything
sure.
up.
Yeah, okay.
If it was Ledecky, I don't even know her first
I
name.
don't know.
Who is the most famous white female athlete right now? Soccer player. Has to be a soccer player, right? Has to be the World Cup. Who is the one with the purple hair?
Oh, she retired.
I know that, but okay, name another one.
I don't know.
There's not one female.
What about old
white-
boy that turned himself into a woman? Bruce Jenner. Isn't he the most famous one?
He hasn't competed since '80.
He's the most famous one that we know of, because you can't name nobody else.
I mean, you can say white female athlete between you to 19 was Jenner 80? No, 76.
Yeah, he was 76.
Jenner was
We weren't 80.
76. So
I don't know the soccer players, but
Lou Retton was 84.
oh yeah, I remember her.
Okay, but back to
And then you have Chris Everett in there. You have Martina Navratilova. I mean, you
I
have
love
some
them. Yeah.
Sue Bird.
Sue Bird.
If it was Sue Bird, would she be released?
That's a great question.
under the current climate, I don't think she would.
I don't either.
I don't
either.
I think number one, I don't know what she had on her. The report
They
is
had
that she had some
vaping
like
hash.
a vaporizer with some hash oil in
Yeah.
it.
What's the law on hash over there?
It's
You can't have it.
10 years in a prison camp.
I'm not even having it.
I'm not having it.
But I mean, what if she was?
Right.
I've had a
You've
guy
done coke.
I had a friend of mine that
He has a friend that's done coke.
he ended up going to the airport.
At
He was
least
in a
you
hurry.
weren't smuggling it.
He was
like
in a hurry.
this
Ended
guy.
up with a knife in his kid put one of his knives in the
his
bag.
kid. His
That's what he
kid.
said. Anyway,
His
but when
kid.
it was a kid, it was it looked like a child's knife.
Okay.
But he wanted to protect his dad. Whatever. The whole thing. He gets a TSA and they're like, what the hell is this? I don't know if that's a fair law, but I'm saying, or I don't know
It
what
literally
violation.
is. It
What
literally
violation?
is.
But I don't know what prison sentence you get with that. But
Lawyer.
he's not a lawyer.
Okay.
But they were like, honest mistake, took it,
Yeah.
trash. He's on his way. But he didn't put it there, and he's also in a hurry. Maybe she was in a hurry. I'm willing to give her the benefit of the doubt, of course, because I
How
think
would
it's
you
ridiculous.
give someone a benefit of doubt when they're taking a vape with hash in it?
Maybe it's in a shoe. Maybe it's in a pocket in the bag.
How did it get there?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she had it before, but if she didn't, I get it. I mean, factually, it's bad if you were going by Russian law, but it's still. I mean, it's a ridiculous.
Would you go
thing.
to any African countries? Would you go to Nigeria?
Probably.
Would you go to Nigeria?
Yes.
I'm not going to any third world country.
I'm not
I don't
going-
know if Nigeria
Nigeria's
is third
not a
world.
third
I don't
world
know.
country. Hold on,
I was going to
bro.
back up. I'm
Hold
backing
up, hold up.
I said I don't know if Nigeria is third world.
It's
I
not.
just said that.
I wouldn't go to South Africa.
Why?
Their poverty
current-
is huge.
Yeah.
Once
Really?
they integrated all that Sun City stuff, everybody came
There's
down.
there's like a limited spot where I think as a white guy I'd feel safe because I don't think
The history.
the current climate still is very much
Segregated.
Well, it's still
Economic.
it's
Still volatile.
it's
Yeah.
heated too. You know
Well,
what I
it's
mean?
economic segregation now.
So
My understanding.
Okay.
but I mean, I probably would.
What
feel
about
more
Brazil?
Oh hell no.
No, I'm not going
No,
there.
you don't have sewers. They had sewer issues at the Olympics. No, I just got
They did
back
have-
from Puerto
they did
Rico.
have-
Yes, any Saint Virgin Islands or something like that. Anything that's owned by a country where we're friendly, I'm cool with.
Right. That's my thoughts as well.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's exactly my thoughts.
but my issue with going to Africa, like Rwanda, is a thing. You know, what was his name? The guy who was killing 14-year-olds or using 14-year-olds to kill people. There's a documentary on him.
I can't remember.
The warlord. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere where the words warlord is uttered on a vacation. It's just not. I'm not
I
going
agree.
to
No, I agree with
Venezuela.
that.
I'm not going to. Would you go to Canada?
Yeah, probably.
I
During the
got
summer.
detained in Canada for just being a smartass at the because they.
You sure
wouldn't-
you weren't smuggling drugs?
I was not
Because we
smuggling
already have a
drugs.
history of it.
Well, just because I'm wearing black does not mean.
Literally, you just admitted you were trying to smuggle dope.
I did not admit I was trying to smuggle
Two
anything.
blunts.
I did not say I was
TSA.
trying. I said what was happening was
What happened was. Go ahead.
Illinois is now a liberal state anyway, where it's recreational, so it wouldn't have mattered. Which is why the climate was as such. So
Okay.
you made me lose my thought.
I don't know what you. I mean, I'm just saying. You literally we have it on tape. What you said. Somebody said pull out something from your pants. I didn't know which way the story was going to go.
Well, we made it through that situation.
Okay. No, yes.
we're in a time and a climate where we have to be responsible for our actions. And I'm going to say this: I hate that Miss Griner is in that situation.
Yeah, so
I'm
I would
all
like her
for
to return
free
home.
BG.
Yes.
Return home.
Return
But
home.
as
But
my
it's
grandmama
stupid.
would say, when you get your tail back over here, you better get somewhere and sit down.
Well, I see that the racial component is coming out. But y'all remember the white guy in North Korea that was returned with brain damage?
Oh, yes, I do.
They left him over there.
They left him over there, put him in a situation, and only released him to come home
They
and
didn't
die.
put him in the situation. He went over there for a golf tournament, and then they said, am I right?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, it was a golf tournament, and they had like some sort of...
He was taking something, right?
No. Well, yeah. They had it roped off. Like, hey, everybody stay over here. And it was something stupid, like they were having some sort of open North Korean golf tournament. They said, let's sign up for it. And they signed up for it, and they said, do not cross this line. And there was a flag up, and he was the one to go steal it for a souvenir. And you do not steal anything in North Korea, especially if you're an American. And, I mean, they beat the kid to death.
That's why his brain was mush.
Yeah, they just beat that. They literally, it came out where they would just go in there and like, time for your beating, and beat the hell out of them. But it's the same thing like when you see the guys hiking in Iran. One, I think they're CIA. But two, you going anywhere in the Middle East?
No.
Middle
Maybe
East.
Not right now.
if it's a direct flight, Israel. That's it.
No, I'm
maybe
not going to Israel.
maybe Jordan.
I'm not going to Jordan.
I'm not really going anywhere as an American right now because
I'll go Canada. I'll do Australia. I maybe could be talked into Nigeria. But no, anywhere.
Would you go to Ghana?
No.
I would go to Ghana.
Philippines? No.
Oh,
That guy's
no,
over
I'd
there
love to
crazy
go
over
there.
there.
Yeah, but that's
Thailand.
No.
Yeah, I might go to Thailand.
I hear Vietnam treats us well.
I heard that too.
Japan.
Yes, definitely.
yeah, I'd definitely go
I got
to
friends
Japan.
in Japan.
Yeah.
Shout out Vinu.
Spain.
I'm mad at Spain. Spain was but
You
yes,
get it. Certain parts of Spain gets a little shady.
absolutely. Spain was
yeah.
big time in the slave trade. So I mean,
You're holding a grudge.
I'm aware. I'm aware of Spain and Portugal, which is why Brazilians speak Portuguese. Don't get it twisted. Okay, it's a whole nother conversation. We'll save that for February.
I'm trying to think. I mean, you can't say Ukraine because there's a war over there, but Germany.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, obviously. Would you go now
Yeah. My parents just got back from there.
with the war in Ukraine?
I mean, it's not. It's geographically, it's a little bit of a.
I understand that, but I'm good.
Okay.
I don't need to. I don't.
That's you.
It's totally me. You would go to Germany right
Yes, absolutely. I got a cousin.
Poland.
No.
Well, I'm just saying, y'all acting like Germany.
I'm not
Poland
going.
and
Let me say
Germany.
this. See, I'm not going to Poland. No way. No.
Why?
Because one, I don't like countries like that.
Like what?
Like landlocked, ice cold
Like white countries? Norway.
I would go to Norway because of its World War II implications and what it means as a paratrooper in the 82nd Airborne Division.
Sweden.
Definitely.
Sweden?
You
Why,
see
like,
his, you see
acting
his
like
face?
that. Yeah.
You
Like,
see
what the
his
hell's that? A
face?
dream?
They got chocolate. What are you
Yeah.
talking about?
I hate the cold, but I'd probably go maybe in the winter.
That's me. I
in the
don't like
summer.
them cold. I don't like the cold. I don't think that you should vacation in the cold.
Where would you like to live in the United States? In the world, where would you like to live?
If I could live anywhere in the world, probably somewhere in the Caribbean.
I can't give you what part? Give me an island.
St. Thomas.
I can't be mad at that.
Now, if it's in the United States,
Or just in general, where would you want to live? You win the lottery.
Grand Cayman.
Okay. I
Love
can't-
it down
I
there.
can't- I
Place is
can't-
awesome. Have you ever been?
No.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Grand Cayman.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it is
I can't be mad
gorgeous,
at that.
I got it. Okay, I got to strike it.
and there's banks everywhere.
Of course,
It's the
and money
weirdest
laundering.
thing.
Money laundering.
Oh yeah.
I know some lawyers now. Actually, here's a funny story. I worked with an attorney. She is now the federal judge in D.C. that has been sentencing the January 6 people the hardest.
Oh, really?
But she was from the Bahamas, and we were talking about she was married. We were joking. But I was like, we could go back to the Bahamas. You and me could go to the Bahamas. There's two type of lawyers that work in the Bahamas. Ones that work for the banks and the ones that represent the people who are running the money through the banks.
Wow.
Yeah. So either you're a drug attorney or you're a bank attorney. So
Either way, you're a drug attorney.
yeah, well, yeah. I mean, you know, how you launder that money and what kind of boat you drive is all you ask when you're an attorney in the Bahamas. And I'm like,
Wow.
where do we sign up? Let's get
Wow.
down there. But yes, I think Brittany Griner. I saw the letter. I hope she returns quickly. Do you think Biden should do anything currently?
Yes, I think that he should and he will, simply because of the liberalism of the matter. This is a liberal situation.
Should Biden get involved?
I don't know what he could do. I mean,
Prison exchange. That's what they say it's all about. There's
yeah,
a guy
but
who's
did you look at that guy's bona fides?
that guy's a serious terrorist.
Yeah.
That guy's done some things.
The guy that they're talking about exchanging for is like that would be I don't know, it'd be a problem. But I mean, to get her back, I don't know. I really don't know.
Where should we go as a country to get an American citizen back? Yeah, I'm walking around and decide I'm going to Iran. They capture me. What should we do? Should we give up terrorists to get my... When is it my problem? Or my stupidity?
I guess it becomes like, I mean, it's unfortunate to say this, but it depends on, number one, their utility, and then number two, how famous they are. And there's probably a mix of both of those that has to come into the
When should the United States get involved with freeing a citizen?
When it's in the interest of public safety and or diplomatic reasons. There's no, I don't see, honestly, this may sound cruel, but there's no diplomatic gain here for America. There's nothing here. All America's going to do, if something were to happen to her, we're going to protest, we're going to be mad, but at the end of the day, we know that hash is not legal in this country, let alone Russia. Hash will get you some real time in America. So the fact that she had it in her, that it was in her possession, you know, Forrest Gump said it best: "Stupid is as stupid does." And if you're gonna be trying to go through Russian TSA, where all they got to do is look at your 6'75" tall self coming through there and recognize what you have going on, you gave them something.
Well, what are the odds that it's not beyond doubt that they would have planted something, correct? I wouldn't have put it above the right. I wouldn't put it beyond our government to plant something if they want a political hostage. And I'm not saying whether they planted it or not. I'm just saying I'm paranoid enough.
Well, show me the tape where she said they planted that.
No. I'm not
also hadn't
saying
seen any
that.
tape.
But what I'm saying is I don't understand why you take that chance. I wouldn't take that chance knowing I'm clean.
Right.
Why would you take that chance knowing you're dirty? I mean, I'd be like, it's mine.
My
it's
guess
guilty.
is if I was a betting person, why did the same reason why I got caught that time was because I forgot to take my fabulous Waterman pen out of my pocket, and it caused the alarm to go off. This was before the days before they did the hands above your head.
Yeah.
This is when if you didn't alarm, whatever, if you had a pound of whatever on you, if you didn't buzz.
Wow, you got a whole pound?
I didn't have a pound.
It's okay. I'm not judging here.
But because of the situation that alarmed them, you know, if you want to take the chance and get away with something, so be it. I wouldn't do it. Not in Russia. I look, when they held me at Canada and they just said they wouldn't let me and my boys in the club.
Why were they holding you in Canada?
They wouldn't let me and my boys in. I came over from Detroit.
Okay.
And so it was some fellas.
I've done that. Went to the
Wednesday
casino.
okay, so I'm trying to get in the club. They're like,
wait. When you went over there, did you have a passport? Just your driver's license?
Just my driver's license.
When you came back, was there a problem?
No.
It was a problem with me, but go ahead.
So I said to them, they said, we can't let you guys in the club. I said, why? They said, well, we're at capacity. I said, you're not at capacity. You just don't want to let us in. I said, man, So we leave, get in the car, go a block away. They put the lights on us, take everybody's license.
You decided to make an
international incident
over a club.
Over a club. I didn't know. I'm young. I didn't know.
Okay.
So by the time they finished holding my license, holding everybody's license, they told me, man, they can't do this. We're American citizens. I said, yeah, but we're not in America. You must understand something. Americans take the liberties that we have for granted. You need to leave this country and be detained in another foreign land where the laws are different. And so that's what made me, as my mom said, I bought that set. And after an hour of just sitting there, the guy walked back up. He said, "Here, get out of my country."
We've got to take a break, but I will say this. All you need to see is how honored and privileged we are.
Yes.
Is every time an illegal alien came into Hinds County Justice Court, this is exactly how they would come in. They would come in with bands or rolls of cash, and they would walk up to you and say, "Here." And you're like, "Sir, I don't need that." And what you realize is that's how they got out of trouble in their country. When they went to court, they just paid people in cash. And they were just like, "Here, take what you need."
Wow.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, "Sir, we can't. Please
Give
put
it to
your money."
that guy over there.
Yeah, but put your
Go
money.
outside,
Well, no, first you have a trial. We got to discuss the merits. But when you see that and you realize that that's what they grew up with,
Wow.
we'll have to take this break. We'll be right back.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
It's the Brent Hazzard Show. We're back. Last topic, we had another shooting, Mr. Gatling, in Chicago. Your thoughts?
Definitely. I mean, how many more can we have before we have to do? I mean, we got to do something.
Okay, what do we need to do?
There's got to be some sort of mental health issue addressed. There's got to be more restrictions on the ability to purchase a high-powered assault rifle, or just an assault rifle in general.
That's our producer, in case you haven't seen.
Well, yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
she's limiting us to 7 minutes. I don't think that's a true assessment of our time.
Yeah, 7:53.
I think she just overruled you. I guess that probably happens a lot, huh? It's your job as a lawyer, overruled counselor.
Anyway, I'm not even going to address some of these comments because it'll just get me in trouble. You know, you lay down with pigs, you get mud on you.
Yeah.
Or what's the old saying? Don't fight with a pig because it enjoys the mud. Something like that.
I don't know.
Don't talk about your dating life anymore. Jeez.
See, he's got one joke, Alan.
That's two.
But it's the same joke.
Okay.
But it's a different angle. That's like I
First of all,
went straight at you with the punch. This was more of a hook.
Everybody knows the word pig and who I date. The first accusation of I've dated some people who may have had some criminal issues, or they would have pulled an Allen and tried to smuggle certain substances.
Wait. I didn't smuggle it.
You failed to smuggle. It's literally attempted smuggling.
Brent.
Okay, let me ask.
Is it or is it not?
Truth or dare? Truth or not truth or dare?
We're not in sixth grade. We're dating.
Here we go. All right, here we go. I got one for you.
Whatever you ask me, I'm going to ask you. So be prepared.
Okay. Have you, in the last year, has any ex-girlfriend hit you up for bail money?
No. Bail money? No.
Okay. Are you sure?
I'm positive. I haven't dated anybody who's gone to jail in the last 5 years.
That's 5 years.
Have you ever had an ex-girlfriend hit you up for bail money?
Yeah.
Yes, I've literally said bail money. No, let me go back. Bail money? No. Money that might have been used for narcotics in my life? Yes. But that's what I'm saying. Anybody I date, no one ever questions. Anyway, moving on. There's no. What I'm saying is,
He's just like totally
the
wrong.
word pig and who I date are never in the same subject. Mental issues and who I date might have some issues there. But God bless them, it's all my fault. That's why I'm single. Anyway, moving on, gun issues. What should we have to do?
Well, I believe that the fact that this shooting took place in Highland Park, Illinois. First of all, it was not Chicago. You must understand Highland Park is a suburb that is an esteemed elite.
This is where Michael Jordan lived.
It's that suburb. So you can best believe there are no apartments. There's nothing but
There's no gangsters.
none
no
of that.
VLs,
No VLs, no Crips, no
Latino
GDs, no 7-4, none of that. It's
the money.
It's the
Oprah.
money. It's the money. It's where the Bears players lives. It's where the Bulls play. It's where Michael Jordan had.
John
a home.
Hughes' movies were.
So
set
when you think
all
about
these
a community like that, for somebody to make their way onto a roof, that's a mental issue. That is also an access to gun issue. So it's not that there definitely needs to be an addressing in this nation of real
we're not gonna
gun
do it.
reform.
Would we do it voluntarily, where you and I and Mike or whoever would go volunteer for a mental exam?
Well, it's not a matter to me. If you apply for a license, there should have to be some sort of mental screening that should.
Well,
take place.
okay, but that's not going to happen. That is not enough votes. But what I'm saying is it something where we could get an app or a Facebook page? Like when people said there was a shooting or hurricane, and you had something come up on Facebook and says, "Are you okay?" Did you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, mark yourself safe in a hurricane. All that.
Yes.
Well, ain't nobody gonna mark themselves crazy in a shooting?
No, but what I'm saying is, if you could mark yourself has gone to a doctor and had some sort of not a psychiatrist, not just a normal part of your annual checkup.
Why do Americans need access to assault rifles?
I mean, what you're asking those? I mean, do crazy people know they're crazy?
No, but that's not what I'm talking about.
Are they look in the mirror and be like, man,
What I'm talking
crazy.
about, but what I'm talking,
and it's usually these
missing-
nerds, low self-esteem individuals who have no.
Y'all are misconstruing my statement. What I'm saying is, if you were checked, I got my little check. Somebody from the mental evaluation or my doctor filled out something and verified that I've gone to see him and I was not showing any signs of violent behavior. You did that, and we're going
That's
somewhere.
not enough.
What I'm saying is a start, but what I'm saying there, if there's a screening mechanism, like with COVID or something, and saying, "Oh, Mike, you've never seen someone for your mental health issues."
COVID kills. It doesn't cause you to kill somebody.
You gonna let me finish?
Go ahead.
If we're talking about this being an epidemic, and I'm not saying the state could, I'm not saying the government could, but what I'm saying is a private entity. If we're talking about this room right here, and Mike has not got.
This is the only epidemic that has happened in America that white people ain't doing nothing about.
That's a lie.
That's not a lie.
Crack.
Crack wasn't it wasn't an epidemic. It wasn't an epidemic. Let me finish, bruh. It wasn't an epidemic till white women and white kids started doing crack.
No, that's an epidemic.
It was an epidemic in the community.
That's why we had to do a war on drugs.
The war on drugs was just a matter to do war, the business of war. America stays at war so that it becomes profitable. Same thing when it comes to a war on drugs.
I don't think white women ever did crack.
They did crack. I know some that did it.
Just because you know a couple, what I'm saying,
I know more than a couple.
Where are you hanging out with all these white crackheads?
Look,
is this all the ones y'all going on the plane together? Were you smuggling a pound?
What I'm saying to you is when things cross over and leave one community
Yes.
and cross over into another community. Gun violence is the only thing that has bled over into a predominantly white community that America is still not addressing as an issue. When drugs became an issue and opioids became a major issue for suburban people, suburban communities, then it was an epidemic. Now we need to do something about it. It was a health issue. It wasn't until white people started getting arrested for drugs that Mississippi decided maybe drug courts are a good idea.
The problem with the AR-15 ban is, in my opinion, I can do a lot more damage with a shotgun than I can with an AR-15.
Well, the AR-15s and those assault rifles give a false sense of confidence because you can fire a lot of weapons, fire a lot of bullets rapidly. But it doesn't mean a dude that can't fight with a knife can't fight. A dude that can't fight without a knife can't fight with one. So what you have are society where everybody that's doing these killings are punks. They are cowards. Whether it's a black dude walking around here shooting up the black neighborhood, or it's a white dude standing on top of the building shooting down at a parade, they're cowardless individuals and with low self-esteem. And yeah, they've been bullied. We were bullied. I was bullied in the 4th grade until I popped Fred Jackson in his so-and-so mouth as a 7th grader.
I know Fred. Fred said he got the best of it.
He may did, but I tell you what, he stopped talking about me and he stopped putting his hands on me too.
Hey, we're running out of time. Gatling, give us the final word. So are you saying there should not be any mental health checks on a private entity basis?
No, I'm saying that I think you have to have it, but it would have to come from what you're describing doesn't seem workable. It would have to be that you have to bring in like a card that says, "Hey," with a smiley face on it, says, "I'm mentally fine, and I got checked by a psychiatrist or a medical doctor to get your gun." And
No, I'm not even talking about that. What I'm talking about is if we're posting everything and we're agreeing, because I'm sure your mind's going here, HIPAA and all that. If we're waiving all that, where we're giving Google and Apple the right to track our banking, the right to track our location.
so you think they should be able to track our mental?
What I'm saying is, on my health app, whether it's Apple or Fitbit, how much farther is it to say you need a mental checkup? And like I said,
What is it, monitoring your Google searches?
No, but what I'm saying is,
It's a sliding scale.
you and I both know,
Crazy,
you and
not
I both-
crazy.
but you and I both know
That's not a bad idea.
literally my idea.
I didn't hear you say it. I heard.
We're going to
Yeah,
wrap up
say
with
it.
that. Thank y'all for paying attention. We'll be back next week. I don't know what we accomplished. That could be the name of the show. I don't know what we accomplished. We might have to change it. But for Mike Gatling, Alan Cole, we'll see y'all next week.
See ya.
Advertise on WeBelieve.global, a brand new digital media platform. Share your brand with our audience on our many global live stream TV broadcasts and over the radio. For more info, visit WeBelieve.global or call 800-492-5186, option 1.